All right. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's Tuesday. Um,
Tuesday of Thanksgiving.
I know it's crazy. It doesn't feel like it's going to be Thanksgiving. Like it just snuck up on me. I keep feeling like it's next week or something. You know what I mean?
I know. Do you have your turkey lurkey ready?
Yes. And this is my first year. We just got it from Costco yesterday. We've always, always been somewhere else. So this is our first year doing our own turkey. And I just got off the phone with my grandmother. I've only ever made stovetop. I'm leveling it up this year. I'm gonna make real stuffing. I always do real mashed potatoes, like my own baked mac and cheese casserole. Love sweet potato casserole. Um, and then we have like pumpkin roll and a big pumpkin pie. So I'm
Wow.
excited.
That sounds really good.
Well, it does. It sounds good, but we know I can mess up boxed mac and cheese.
I'm making my only contribution to Thanksgiving this year is I make homemade cranberry sauce. That's it. Everybody else brings everything else. My mom makes homemade cornbread dressing. We're going to my in-laws and my parents are going too. So it's, one big family thing. And then so my mother-in-law, like she's making a brisket. My we are bringing a ham that I bought from Honey Baked Ham.
Oh, those are the
They have
best.
the best ham.
The best.
And then we also bought a little turkey breast. But I actually don't like turkey. I think turkey's gross.
I'm not a huge fan of it either.
I don't like turkey. Although yesterday I did this really, really funny podcast with this amazing couple, Brian and Pam Wheelock. They have a really, really great story, actually. We should probably bring them on. They have this great story. He lived a homosexual lifestyle for like his whole life. And then one day, but he like knew he didn't want to live that way. But he was like really into it and just like hooking up and all this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And then one day, like God gave him this vision of his wife and 3 children. And he knew that like one was going to be his oldest was going to be a girl. And it was like God telling him like, I have something better for you, you know?
Right.
And so he was like, okay, God, like this is what I want. Like you're showing me what I want. Like this is my desire. And so he's like started really like going to church and like trying um
Right.
and so anyway, long story short, um he like made this oath to God, this like purity oath to God, um and kept to it. He made this like oath that's really, really cool. He like wrote it out and he signed it every day. He like read it every day and signed it. He has like dozens and dozens of pages where he signed his name. He read it every morning and signed it.
Wow.
And then he ended up meeting Pam. They got married and she was like exactly like who he imagined, like in this vision that he had. And then they ended up having 3 girls. Isn't that
Wow.
crazy? Anyway, that's a
It
long story to say that I had them on my podcast yesterday and we were talking about turkey. And he was saying that he went to his sister's house like last year or something or 2 years ago, and they had a vegan Thanksgiving. And they had a tofurkey.
Ooh.
And I had heard of a tofurkey before,
Right. I've
but
never.
I didn't really understand what a tofurkey was.
Right.
And he explained it to me. Now, we know what tofu is. Okay. Now, a tofurkey, though, I guess in this situation, I don't know if it's in all situations, but in this situation, he said it's called a holiday roast. Okay. It was like a thing, like a ball of tofu. And then you cut into it and it was layered. So it was like a tofu on the outside. Then you go in a little bit further and it was stuffing. Then a little bit more cranberry sauce.
Oh, wow.
Then on the outside was this like pecan crust or
Ooh.
something. And then it had a vegan like gravy that went over it. And I said, I said, the thing about tofu is that it's like if you could eat a sponge, that's essentially what tofu is, because it will take on the flavor of whatever you're cooking it with.
Right.
Right.
And as I'm, for health reasons, really trying to get back into plant-based for the majority of my foods anyways. I've tried tofu before and it's like, you know what, I can do a lot of things, but I can't do that. I can't do it.
It's like a sponge. It's like eating a sponge. I've had tofu. I can eat it with stuff. Like I've had it with like noodle, like I've had it like an Asian food. Like if I just don't know I'm eating it and I'm just like shoveling it in with other stuff, it's fine.
Right.
Because it does take on the taste of other things, Anyway, he said, his kids ate it, but I mean, I don't know that that's a good marker.
Well, and I posted this last night on our page because it's this picture of just like a bun, like a croissant, like type of bread roll. And it was like, I can't wait to slave in the kitchen for my kids to eat these. Because my kids are the type, whether we go out to eat or whether
they just want the rolls.
Just give them bread and they're happy. Like my kids would be a little like olden day, like just give them bread. Literally, we need a restaurant. Can we just get drinks and rolls, please? And then we'll be out.
What's really do you ever go to Golden Corral?
I haven't been in forever, but I've been there.
And Golden Corral has really the best rolls. If I could just go to Golden Corral and be like, look, I'll pay for the buffet. Just bring the rolls.
Just I'll pay you whatever you want. That is too funny.
And that's all my kids want too, or just their rolls. And they've got that honey butter that goes with them.
Yes.
It's good.
It's like what's that restaurant? It's like the cowboy restaurant that you can throw peanut shells on the floor.
Oh, Texas
Roadhouse. Brittany just wrote that.
Brittany, she speaks our language.
Brittany
Becker, she's with us all the time. Brittany's one of our people. She knew exactly what you were talking about before it even came out of your mouth.
Yes, she knows. That's like Texas Roadhouse, and it's like so unhealthy, and the butter is so good, and you just
that cinnamon butter,
just so not good for you, but it's delicious.
It is delicious. It's probably plant-based.
So good, so healthy. So we're so excited because at 11:30 we start a segment with this fabulous up and coming singer and songwriter and actress, Sam Pio. But before we get to that, I have to have Abby share this story. Is she just brought her other arm up? Guys, you just have to. Abby needs to give her 6-minute version of this story because she sent me a video chat the other night, and as she prefaced it, I'm like, "You got mugged?" I'm like, "You got robbed? You got mugged?"
That would be a better story.
So tell them what happened.
Okay. So this is not an exciting story. It's a ridiculous story. So I, first of all, I don't know if y'all saw my cat-like reflexes when I killed a fly just a minute ago.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, I did. It's sitting on my desk now. Gross. Anyway, I was coming out. I gone to HEB to get some cupcakes for my daughter because my daughter turned 15. Grace turned 15 the other day, and so she was like, "Mom, can you go get me some cupcakes for my class? So I was like, okay. So I went to go get some cupcakes. And then, of course, it turned into a huge shopping trip like it always does. And so I had this basket full of groceries. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I left my wallet in the car after I'd already gotten all the groceries. And so I was like, oh no. So I had Jude with me, my 6-year-old. And I had these big legged Italian silk pants on that I'd gotten from this cute little boutique in Grand Haven, Michigan. And I love these pants. And so I had them on with some flip-flops. And so I was like, oh, Jude, come on, let's run out to the car and get them. So I'm running. You guys know where this is going. So I'm running out to the car and I'm, running, and my left foot gets caught up in my right pant leg somehow. And I'm like, whoa, and I like really in a big dramatic way, because I do most things pretty dramatically. I like take flight like into the parking lot, and I'm like, ah, and I go flying into the parking lot. I land on this wrist and my left knee, and well, I guess both knees. I don't know really how it happened. I don't know how I landed, but anyway, so then I'm like, oh my God. And not one person, there were all kinds of people around me. Not one person was like, oh my gosh, ma'am, like, are you okay? This is a lot of person coming down. Okay. Like, I mean, I'm not like a little tiny thing like Reagan. Like, this is a lot of me flying through the air and coming down. Okay. Everybody noticed. Not one person was like, oh my gosh, can I help you get up? No. So I'm like, oh, and Jude's like, Mom, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. So I get up, and my bun, I had a bun on top of my head, it's now over here. So my bun's like bouncing over here. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm okay. Let's go get the wallet. So I'm like now like gimping over to the car to get the wallet. I get the wallet. I get back in to H-E-B. I pay for my groceries. I know my leg is bleeding. I can feel it bleeding underneath my pants. I can like feel blood like coming down my leg. I'm like, I know it's bleeding, but I don't even want to look at it. So thankfully we live right around the corner from H-E-B. So I get in the car. It's like burning. My wrist is on fire. It's like already so swollen. And I was like, okay. It's like, I think I may have broken my wrist. So I get home and I'm like, and Doug's like, what happened? And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I fell in the parking lot. And then, we're sort of laughing about it. And he's like, you ruined your pants. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you ruined your pants. I like have a rip this big. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I love these pants. And he's like, but I think you broke your wrist too. And I'm like,
anyway,
yeah, but my pants, I can't fix those pants. So anyway, I had to throw my pants away, which was probably the worst part about it. And then I ended up going to the orthopedist, and I broke 2 bones in my wrist, and I was able to negotiate not putting a hard cast on my wrist. He wanted to put a hard cast on. I was like, please let me put like one of these on. So he let me put one of these on, and so I can take it off when I shower. And so I have to wear it for 4 weeks. And then he said he'll reevaluate and see if I need surgery, which I won't. And
stubborn and won't even do it if she needs.
No. I'm not going to have surgery. I don't have time for that. And then of course it's my right hand, which is my dominant hand. So it's really been a pain in the butt, actually. And it was like the most ridiculous story. And it would have been a better story if I would have been like fighting off somebody who was like trying to take my purse or something like that. But
well, like literally is Abby was sending me this video, and I could just see her in distress. And this is like, probably an hour after it happened, and she's sitting there and she's swollen and in pain. And she's like, I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I was so relieved. And then I was like chuckling, and that friend, I'm like, I'm laughing with you. Okay, you're not laughing right now, but you're gonna be. I'm laughing
No,
with you.
it was funny. It was funny. Later, I was like telling my friend Stephanie, and I like could not stop laughing. I was like, because I was just imagining myself flying through the parking lot. Oh, and then Jude says to me, like, literally as I'm walking back into HEB, like gimping back in, he goes, Mom, this is why you don't run in flip-flops. Thanks, honey.
Got it, Jude. I'm gonna keep that one in my back
Got
pocket.
it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. But I am. It just, I was so upset that nobody else helped you.
Nobody helped. And this is Texas, dang it. Like, people are supposed to be like friendly and warm.
I tell you what.
Nobody.
Well,
rude.
I am excited to shift gears here. Our next guest, I am so excited, Abby. We have never had somebody perform live on our show.
I know.
And I mean, we've had on a lot of amazing people, but I don't think we've had on someone this young, this talented, and who's already accomplished so much by her age. I mean,
I know.
Am I right? Should we bring her on?
Yeah, let's bring her on. I'm excited.
Let's bring her on. There she is.
Hi.
Sam.
Hi, Sam.
You are just the cutest thing in videos, in pictures. Welcome, honey.
Thank you.
So, Sam, you are a singer, a songwriter, an actress, and how old are you?
10. Just turned 10.
Just turned 10. What was your birthday?
September the 30th.
Wow.
Great day.
Oh my goodness. And so you've accomplished so much. So tell us, how did this start, Sam? How did you even get into the music industry?
Well, before I start going into the career part, I just wanted to say the first part is where I started. Ever since I was a little girl, anywhere I found a stage, like at the zoo or the mall, in the middle of a movie theater or something like that, I would literally leave my parents' hand and walk up to the stage and start singing.
Oh my goodness.
My parents would be looking for me everywhere, but they would find me on the stage. But into the career part, I started out as a baby model. I started doing commercials, musical theater, and then I started doing short films. But I started getting closer and closer into my music career instead of acting. I started taking vocal lessons, doing little shows. I started doing music videos and recordings. I made my album Be Blessed, which is on all platforms. And now I'm making a new album called Be Joyful. It's all about Christmas. And I've been going bigger and bigger, and getting more and more and more connected to Jesus all the way up to now.
Oh, I love that, because who doesn't love Christmas and who doesn't love Jesus, right? Those are like the two best things.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam, so do you go to school or do you homeschool?
I have to homeschool. I'm so busy.
I can't imagine. I have 4 of my 5 kiddos are at home. So my older one's homeschool. So I can't imagine how busy you are. So you homeschool. That's awesome. And so you wrote an original song that is called Be Joyful, It's Christmas.
Correct.
So how does that even start? How do you start writing lyrics? How does that come to you?
Well, I'll tell you the whole step by step. First, God puts the idea of the song in my mind. Then I write down all of my ideas and get a title. Then I write a song. Then, with the help of my songwriting helper, Neville Peter, who helps me with the little tiny tweaks that we need to fix. Then with me and my engineer, Jimmy Mack, we record the soundtrack for it. Then I record it, put it on an album, or make a music video on it, and voila!
Oh my gosh. I can't wait. You know, before we started this interview, and as I was talking to my kids, I was showing them your photos and your videos, and they're like, oh, she's so pretty, Mommy. She sings so good. I felt like this is going to be the next superstar. Like, we're going to be able to say Sam Pio was on The Real Deal of Parenting in just, in November of 2021. I just see so many good things for you, Sam.
Whoa.
And when I lost you there for a second. And when you keep Jesus at the center of your life, it just helps everything else fall into place, right? Right. So one thing that I'm really interested in is you got to perform alongside Johnny Resnick from the Goo Goo Dolls. How did that happen?
Well, the moment I heard that I didn't have to audition, I just direct booked a thing with the Goo Goo Dolls, I almost fainted. I was so excited because when I realized that they were so famous, whoa. When I met him, it was so much fun. They were really nice to me. They let me do whatever I need to do to make myself a little more comfortable every single day when we practiced. And when it was showtime, it was the best. Everything was so Christmassy. Everybody was just the sweetest thing you'd ever seen. The hairstyles was nice. And Johnny Resnick was the sweetest thing. He's funny, he's silly, he's kind, did I mention funny? He's just really funny. Next time I see him, I'm going to give him a big, big hug. And he let me put my signature on the guitars that they're going to be giving to St. Jude's Hospital for charity. I have their guitar. They gave it to me for Christmas. And I have all the names of the cast, including mine, on the guitar. It's red, sparkly, and it's electric.
Wow. That's got to be probably one of the coolest gifts you've ever gotten.
Yeah.
Wow. So your parents must be so supportive of this career. What advice would you give to other kiddos? Because this can be really intimidating, really overwhelming. What would you tell other kiddos who want to be a songwriter? They want to be a singer, but they're still young like you. What would you tell them?
Keep practicing, be yourself, be the light, be yourself. Like I said, don't let anybody shut you down. And remember that God loves you no matter what. And as long as you pray and be loyal to him, he'll help you every step of the way. And never give up on your dreams.
Well,
Perfect advice.
I mean, that's everything. That's everything in a nutshell. I love it. Well, Sam, so I know you're just crazy busy and you have so much PR you have to do. But before you leave, I'm really excited. You're going to sing for us, right?
Right.
Perfect. So we are ready. We are ready to hear you when you are.
Thank you. I'm going to be singing my first original song, Be Joyful, It's Christmas. Well, I wrote a lot of songs. This is the first one that's going to be going out for everyone to hear. Be joyful, tell everyone who'll hear. It's Christmas, that special time of year when we lift our hearts and sing as we celebrate our King. Peace on earth, goodwill, and blessings to all. Be joyful, it's Christmas time again. Let family and friends share the wonderful news of what our God has done. The best gift He gave us is His Son. Let us share with everyone His blessing. Be joyful. It's Christmas. Be joyful and lend a helping hand. Think of Jesus, let us fulfill His plan. Share the gospel of peace to a world that needs relief. Let all arguments and war and fighting cease. Be joyful, it's Christmas time again. Let family and friends share the wonderful news of what our God has done. The best gift He gave us is His Son. Let us share with everyone His blessing. Be joyful. Oh, be joyful. It's Christmas time again. Let family and friends share the wonderful news of what our God has done. The best gift He gave us is His Son. Let us share with everyone His blessing. Be joyful. It's Christmas. It's Christmas. Be joyful. It's Christmas.
Wow.
Yay.
That was one of the most beautiful things I've ever
That
heard.
was beautiful, Sam.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That was amazing.
I have
You're
chills.
welcome.
I am so excited. And so, Sam, what is the best place for people to follow you and to learn more?
Well, there are actually many places. My music is on all platforms: Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, name it. But if you want to find everything about me, you got to go check out my website at sampioofficial.com.
Amazing. And you know what? We will link your Facebook and Instagram below and your website. Everybody needs some Sam Pio in their life, especially this Christmas.
Absolutely.
Thank
All right.
you. As long as it brings people to Jesus, I'm in.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us, Sam, and have a beautiful Thanksgiving and beautiful Christmas.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank
Thank
you.
you to your parents as well.
Yes.